Leatherworks in Raleigh, North Carolina. This video is going to be about concealment holsters, custom concealment holsters. And I've got a lot of things I want to talk about. But what I'm going to do is show you in general two that are finished. This one's going to go out in the mail either today or tomorrow back to its owner. This one is for a 1911 5-inch. This is my gun, and I made this holster for someone in, God, I can't remember what state right now, but not in Raleigh. This one is partially finished, and I'm going to show it to you for another one of my guns. This is a model 36-1 3-inch barrel J-framer, and I want to explain to you how these holsters are designed and made. And I'm showing you this one not completely finished to explain a couple of things about it. And if you're not familiar with Ring's blue guns, which are tactical training guns, these can be used to make holsters when you don't have the real gun. Their primary use is for military and police training, so that you have a gun that is weighted and has most of the details to represent a real gun in a training situation without any harm coming to anybody. For holster making, they are about 99% the same as a real gun. So making a holster with one of these will virtually guarantee that when you get it in the mail from me, that your gun is going to fit right into it with no problems. All the details about slide releases, the measurements, dimensions of trigger guards, and in a case of this holster, or this gun, not holster, but this gun, the stop in the holster is going to be the point of this, meaning that when the holster, when the gun goes in the holster, this is what's going to stop it and keep it in place. And of course the shape of this Glock is going to be square, and the holster will come probably right across in here, and probably is not the case. It is the case because I already have patterns for this one and this LC9 Ruger. I've made holsters with these before and sold them off my gun show table. But these are the only two blue guns that I have right now. If you have a gun that you want me to make a holster for, and a blue gun exists for it and I don't have it, I can get one and then make your holster. But one of the considerations, and it's going to lead into the discussion of this gun right here in this holster, is that there are just not blue guns or dummy guns for every single gun that's got a Picatinny rail on it, a laser light, a laser grip, all the details that go into a custom gun also have to go into a custom holster. So I'm going to take these two blue guns right now and set them aside, get them out of the shot, put them over here, and I'm going to take this one, bring it back a little bit later, but this is an unfinished holster. And this one here, okay, it has some custom features on it that I'll discuss in a minute or two, but I'm going to put these aside, okay, and we're going to talk about this one here first. This gentleman is in Illinois, and the company that he represents and owns is TK Custom, and he is the OEM manufacturer for Smith & Wesson moon clips, among other things. And he is the first guy to come along and trust me enough to send his firearm to me through an FFL. I am not an FFL, but I have many around me, and one is very nearby, and he's a good acquaintance of mine, not a real friend yet, but he's a good acquaintance. And he sent his firearm to me through that FFL. This is a Freedom Arms model 1997, and this is a dual cylinder gun. This is the unfluted 45 long Colt cylinder, and then there's the ACP cylinder, which he didn't need to send me. So he just sent me his firearm. It has a very unusual grip on it, almost like a Bisley, and very much like a Bisley, but it has this smooth black, and I'm guessing Markita grip on it, and it is one of the tightest guns I've ever seen. It is quite a firearm. He had a not so good experience with an unnamed stock holster company, and this goes back to the other video that I made about the difference between buying holsters from stock houses as opposed to custom shops. So this gun has a very tall and very sharp front sight, as you can see. Let's take it a little bit closer and you can see it up against the background. And it has a pretty tall, back in here, rear sight, adjustable rear sight. So the challenge is to make a holster that ordinarily, style-wise, okay, let me get this completely out of the shot, but I want to bring one of them back in. This style of holster, okay, works well with autos. It comes up right through here on a curve, comes right across and underneath the safety. See if I can get that into the shot. There it is, the safety release. Not safety release, stupid. It is the magazine release. There's no magazine in here. So the magazine release button is right on top of the top edge of this holster. Comes across and around. Okay, same place. They're equal on either side. And there is a 1.5 inch belt loop. So to make the same style holster for this gun is a challenge, in that tactical guns like the 1911 and a Western frame style revolver have a different proportion or relationship between the trigger guard and the top strap. So this is how this one worked out. This comes up. I cut this out here so it doesn't cut into your side. It's an unnecessary piece of leather. Comes up. There's a 1.5 inch belt loop slot. There is the front slot for the belt, and this sharply comes across here and dives down across the top of the cylinder underneath the rear sight, back around again, and comes up and is just matching up with where the grip goes into the holster and around. Now let me see if I can reach around and grab a belt, which I thought I had ready to go and is not. So hang on, I'm going to take a pause and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now this is one of my Western style belts. It has a Ruger belt buckle on it. Okay, but it is a 1.5 inch belt. So I'm going to just drop it down, straighten it out. Come on, straighten out. Okay. This is how this works. You take your gun out of the holster and lay it down. Okay. And here we go. This goes through here. Okay. You would put your pants belt loop right through here. Typically the one that's right on your right side. Okay. And then pressing forward, okay, this is brand new and very, very tight, okay, And you turn this around, keep it in the shot. Okay. Okay. We're going to have to pull it through. You might even have to use pliers in some kind as you get started, but this one's going through. That's how it works. This is going to press up on your side very, very tightly, and you're going to have, or want to have, a very tough belt, at least one that is 3/16 of an inch thick and will not stretch and will not roll. Okay? Because when you cinch this belt up and you have the weight of 5 rounds of Lone Colt and a stainless steel gun like this one, you don't want your holster falling off your side. You want to be able to snug it up, have it be there, not feel it moving around and falling off your side. Now, custom stamping. That's another thing you will not get from a stockhouse. I'm pulling the belt out of this one here. Okay. I'll bring it back into the shot. Here we go. TKC. That's the initials he wanted, this shooter wanted on his holster. So there's his TKC, and I'm putting American flags on everything these days, although I have an eagle stamp as well, a flying eagle landing, but I'm finding that everybody seems to want an American flag on their holster, and that's what he got on this one. So that's this holster right here. Okay, a certain amount of retention, which will go away. I could feel it slip a little bit when I did that, but a little bit of retention as it starts out, and after a time, it's with body heat coming into the leather as he wears his holster, he's going to find that there's no wiggle right now, and that will stay that way, but it will slip out very easily as I'm pulling on it right now. But the gun is going to find every single little bit of a spot inside there to make its place, and he'll be able to just kind of rip this gun out of the holster with no resistance if he ever needs it in an emergency situation. So that's this one right here. Okay. Freedom Arms 45 Long Colt ACP. Okay. Bisley grip. And there's the look right there. Okay. So let's move on to the 1911. And here she comes. Alright, I already showed you this a little bit before. Here it is again. Same style. Okay. I'm getting the belt to bring up to you. Same style belt slot system. Comes right through there. Okay. Again, this one is brand new. This one's going through a little better. Okay. There you have it emerging through. Let's give it a yank and she'll come through. This one is a birthday present for somebody. So let me bring the gun back up here for a moment just to show you how it looks. This one's got stamping on it for the man's initials, BJM. And there they are, BJM. Okay, there's his American flag right there, and then on the front, which is not going to be easy to figure out, so I'll tell you what it is. It's IGWT, In God We Trust, and the date 12/25/14. 12/25/14. There's my stamp right there. IGWT. IGWT. Okay. This has got to go out in the mail today because today is 12/8. So I'm pulling the belt out of this one. Same thing. Very small amount of retention to start out. Okay. This one's like about 0.5% of retention. Okay. And this one will fly out of here real quick and easy. There's no retention on this one. Okay. Now, custom work on leather. Let me put this gun over to the side. And here's where we get into the not quite finished one. Let her sit here for a moment. This one was made to this point and dyed. So that's the next step for this. This one's all prepped up, sanded, smoothed, burned off, fitted. There's the belt loop system. It's easier to see it now when it's not dyed, because black soaks up a lot of detail. But there's the sewing, there's the stamp. I put model 36 on this one. I didn't put my initials on it because one day I'll probably wind up selling it and having to go make another one. So for as long as I own this gun, this is a model 36-1. She's from the 70s. I just picked her up at a gun show. And she's a 5-shot J-framer. There's your 5 rounds right there. 5-shot J-framer with one of the older, although they still make them just like this one, Packmeyer aftermarket grips. Didn't come with the wooden grips, and that's fine with me because I like the Packmeyers. And I may wind up carrying her. Don't know yet. Had a friend of mine go through her and loosen her up. When I bought her, she was very dry inside, had been put through a sonic cleaner but not re-oiled, and was very, very stiff. But I got her at a good price. So I made a holster for her, and I have not yet completed it, and held back on it so that I could show you coming through stages of doing custom work. There's my stamp on here, and the model 36 and the flag. Then, after it gets dyed, okay, it gets allowed to dry for about 24 hours. Then I go over it with water and paper towels. I get any of the excess dye that may have accumulated, you know, in all of these punch outs, okay, or stampings, and get it down to the point where it will shine up, because I've put needs foot oil on it too after the dye. And then all these edges get burnished out, rubbed out with water, you know, and the tools necessary to smooth things out and round edges, okay, so that when you run your hands over it, you don't feel anything sharp at all, no thread sticking up. The nylon thread has been burned down, melted in, and then the last thing I do is I go over it with Kiwi Neutral Wax Shoe Polish, rub it in. If it shows up accumulated in any of the stitching holes, I melt it in with a hair dryer at about 1250 watt hair dryer, and make sure that everything is, again, smooth to the touch. Okay, and all of these, this belt slot has been rubbed out. Okay, let me bring it up in here. I wasn't watching my monitor, so I might have been too far away for you to see. So this has all been waxed, rubbed out. Gives it a good quality medium gloss look. And you can see the stamping details on this. I'm bouncing it off, the light off of it again. And I'm sure that the woman who bought this for her dad, or her husband, maybe it's her husband, can't remember right now, quite frankly, okay, she'll be happy with this, and I'm sure he'll be happy with it too. Okay. That's what custom work is, right there. Alright, so if you are trusting of me and the FFL process of transferring firearms, then you can send me an unusual firearm, an older firearm, or one that's got a laser on it. If you're willing to give it up for the time it takes for me to make a holster for it, finish it, send it back to you, then you can have something custom made. Sure, it costs more. You're going to pay the FFL transfer fees, but in the long run you're going to get something you want custom made for you. I know that there are a lot of you out there that have these guns and you've not been able to find what you might want in custom leather work. Okay. Alright, well, I think that covers it. So let's bring everybody back into the shot for the parting shot. Okay. There's that holster. And this one, and this one. And thanks for watching. On the end titles, you'll get all the information about how to contact me. Give me a call, discuss anything you might want for a holster for yourself. Okay. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and Merry Christmas 2014. Today is December 12, 2014. So, bye-bye for now from Raleigh, North Carolina.